To everybody at home, welcome. We're going to start here in a second with a short video. Some of our news network students created for you. It's a quick 2-minute video, and then we'll get started with our program. We're excited that you all are here. Freshman Immersion Day has been a proud tradition of Saugus High School every year. Typically, we have you on campus, and we have a bunch of classrooms you visit with different speakers. Obviously, we can't do that today. So I brought some of my friends in to help me give you that virtual experience. So in a second, we will start with our SNN Welcome to Saugus video. And I do want to thank Mr. Williams and the SNN production crew for helping us with our first ever YouTube live Zoom format type of presentation. So we will have a couple glitches, I'm sure, but that's okay. That's how life is. And we just persevere, we get through it. And it's going to be a great experience for us and hopefully for you at home. So welcome class of 2024. I'll be back on in a second to do the official welcome. Do it at the end?
Yeah, we're going to do speak with you.
You want to, are we starting with what, me or?
Yeah, with you, because the thing is downloading.
Okay, change of plans. We're going to get started with showing you that video at the end. I apologize, but this is all good things happening. We're going to learn as we go. Guys, I want to welcome the class of 2024 to Immersion Day. My name is Mr. Ferry. I'm the proud principal of Saugus High School. I know this is not how we want to start a school year or how we want to start our high school career, but please know that we're going to stick together, we're going to support one another, and we're going to have a great year as we experience, I guarantee, a lot of joy along the way, even with an unusual start to your high school career. Today, we have many of my friends with me. They're here to share some helpful hints and tips on how to have a successful transition into high school and hopefully answer any questions that you might have. Before we get started, I do want to challenge you in a way that no other freshman class has ever been challenged. And I'm asking you folks to really get engaged day one with your academics. I want you guys to be in class on time, be prepared, and just get off to a good start. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is that there are some really good things happening in the world right now. We have the public, we have the world, we have our community asking for good social change, social justice, and equality. And it's never a better time right now as students at Saugus High School, as staff members of Saugus High School, to be a part of this change. And the one thing or the few things we can do is that we can treat everybody with kindness, respect, and love in both our action and our words, both in what we say and what we say on social media. So I'm hoping you're going to just be a part of such a great and positive change, not only here at Saugus High School, but just globally around the world. Third thing I'm going to ask you guys, I was very impressed seeing you guys come through freshman registration yesterday. You are such collectively a nice group of students. I need this to be the class of leaders at Saugus High School. And you guys know Saugus High School is a great school. We're a school that's recovering from a tragedy. And from this tragedy, I will tell you, I have seen the very best in people. I have seen students take time to reach out just to check on a friend, students taking time to make connections with people they don't know. And what we need you to do is come in and be a leader amongst your friends, to challenge yourself, to make new friends, and just to get to know one another. So those are things you can do. Also, little things you can do when we do return to campus is let's try to avoid excessive noises. For example, jumping on milk cartons, things like that. Just be real sensitive to the physical surroundings around you. But we're excited and we appreciate the leadership you're going to bring to our school. Finally, and I mentioned this a little bit, I need you to grow your circle. And when I talk about growing your circle, that means increasing your number of friends, increasing your acquaintances. Take time to get to know somebody new. Really work at developing those relational skills with one another. And once you do that, your high school experience is going to be so much better, so much richer. Before I turn the presentation over, if you need anything, if you having an issue, whether it's academics, a peer issue, or just somebody you need to talk to, you can reach out to me, some of the fellow administrators, a teacher, a counselor, an adult you can trust. We do really work hard to solve problems, and but please don't feel like you ever have to carry a problem or an issue by yourself. We're here to help you. We're here to help guide you. That's why we're in this profession, is to serve you, the class of 2024. I'm excited you guys are Centurions. At this point, what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to ask my administrators, starting with Mr. Garrett, to introduce themselves.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Mr. Garrett. It's easy. This is what I look like without the mask. We got 3 of us in the office right now, so I need to keep this thing on, but I wanted to let you see what my face is like, because when you walked through yesterday, I had it on the whole time. I'm the 11th grade administrator. I oversee athletics. I oversee our career technical education, and myself and all the other administrators are going to be around every day for you guys. So if you need something, find one of us. All right. Looking forward to having you here sometime soon in person.
Thank you, Mr. Garrett. Great guy to talk to if you ever need anything. Next, we'll introduce Mr. Barr.
Freshman class, Mr. Barr. I'm the administrator over the 12th grade, the seniors, but I will echo what Mr. Ferry said. I was at the first station for registration yesterday, and you guys were phenomenal, did a great job, and I'm really excited to get you on campus. You're going to be very successful. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. Now we're going to introduce Mrs. Peterson Henry.
Hi, freshmen. Welcome to Saugus. We're happy to have you. I really look forward to meeting you virtually and then in person soon. I got to see some of you yesterday, and that was great. I'm the administrator over 10th grade, but that doesn't mean that you can't come to me like you can come to all of us administrators for help. Welcome.
And last but not least, I want to introduce you to your 9th grade assistant principal, Mrs. Hamburger.
Welcome, class of 2024. I know you're the best class. I'm so excited to be your administrator. I know the other administrators are jealous that I get to be your administrator, because I heard nothing but good things of going through yesterday of registration, and they're all jealous of how great of a class you are. So I'm looking forward. I'm here to help you with anything you need. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I'm so happy that we're starting off this school year. Started off great. Thank you.
Outstanding. Yeah, we an outstanding administrative team. We're here to serve you guys. Again, if you need something, you're probably not going to memorize our faces, but we're very visible on campus. We're always out and about. We're also in classrooms a lot. So when you see us, don't be afraid of us. We're normal human beings. We're all moms and dads, and we have kids of our own. So please come up and talk to us. We like it when students talk to us. That's where we get our energy from. So thank you, administrators, for introducing yourself. Next, I'm going to introduce a good friend of mine, Mr. Klipfeld. Mr. Klipfeld is the Saugus High School Teacher of the Year, who's going on also to be the County Teacher of the Year representative for the Hart District. And he is going to be presenting on some tips on how to have a successful high school experience in transition. We're actually sharing a monitor, so I will get off right now. Mr. Klipfeld.
Thank you, Mr. Ferry, and I'd like to welcome the class of 2024. Mr. Williams is getting my document set up, I believe, right now. I want to suggest that there's a real opportunity for you, and over the next, 5 or 6 or 8 minutes that I'm going to be talking with you, I want you to consider the possibility that one or more things I'm going to be sharing with you could change your life. So I get it. There's a lot of stress coming into high school. And I also understand that it's a new challenge with distance learning. But in the end, this is going to be about attitude being a choice here. And the two quotes that I think Mr. Williams is sharing with us here are two of my favorites. The first one, be brave, not perfect. Hey, I would love to try out for the musical, Mr. Klipfeld, but I might not make it. I would love to ask him or her out to the dance, Mr. Klipfeld, but they might say no. I'd love to try Spanish 3, Mr. Klipfeld, but I might not get an A or a B in that class. And I got to tell you, this quote summarizes my view on that. You need to be ready to take some chances and have a little less concern about being perfect. And that kind of eases us into the other quote there, if Mr. Williams can move it up. Be selfless, not selfish. And that kind of summarizes the attitude that really can help you out this year. I'll give you an example that's kind of heavy. Let's say you're going out for drum major. And you've got some people that maybe don't have the skills that you do, but they want to be drum major in the band too. Do you help them? And I would say absolutely. You be selfless, not selfish, and they may beat you in that contest, but that's what we need you to do. So make sure every day at Saugus High School, you're worrying about other people and not just yourself. So now I'm going to go through about 5 different concepts quickly that could really make a difference in your high school career. That's perfect, Mr. Williams, right there. So the average high school student has more than a 500,000 hours left to live. And that may not mean much to you, but I'm already over that hump of life. And so my hours might have more importance and that sort of thing. But I'm telling you that after doing this for 30 years, I'm worried that even one of you may not be taking seriously some of the important decisions you have to make during your first year at high school, and then the whole experience. So I want to suggest to you how important it is to maybe make some good moves your first semester, your first year, and throughout high school. So I'm going to hit one thing after another. The first one's about paradigm, and that is how you look at things. And so if your paradigm is, I have to have a 4.0, or I have to be captain of the football team, or I have to have a pretty guy on my shoulder when I go to the dance. Those are all what I would say a paradigm that's a distraction. I would recommend that you decide what your paradigm is right now going into high school. Is it values? Is it principles? And it should be. So for example, if your paradigm is grades, are you more likely to cheat or less likely to cheat in high school? But if your paradigm is values and it's honesty and it's integrity, then you're going to find yourself being more honest. So I'm going to suggest that you define your paradigm this week, this month. Are you honest? Are you caring? Are you hardworking? So that's one thing I hope you take care of. Maybe Mr. Williams could scroll up a little bit. So the next concept here is relationships. You've got deposits and withdrawals. If you are always on time to my class, or you always give 100% in band, or you're always giving 100% for cross country, you're going to be able to slip up and then make some withdrawals. And that goes for your relationships with your siblings, your parents, your friends, coaches, teachers. So please understand our first point, form a paradigm of values and live to it, and make deposits in your relationships. I'm going to go now to my third point here, which is really power. You have to accept, it will be better for you if you do, that you have most of the power in your life. I would love to play for the Lakers and be 6'10", but that's not going to happen. So I let go of that. If I really wanted to play basketball, I could join a league, I could start a league, I could play, by myself at the gym. The bottom line is there are things you control: your diet, your friends, your attitude. And you can make a choice. Are you going to be in the back of the bus in high school and complain, hey, I wanted the bus to get off 2 stops ago, it never goes where I want? Or are you going to sit down at the steering wheel and decide that this bus, your life, is going to go where you want it to go? So we start off with this paradigm of values. We then move to making deposits in your relationship. And then we go to this idea of accepting that you have a lot of power in your life, starting with your attitude. So let's go to the next point here. And that has to do with beginning with the end in mind. If you were to take a few minutes this weekend by yourself, with some friends, with your parents, and you were to say, what is the first or the perfect first semester at Saugus High? What is the perfect year at school for a freshman? And then go further. What is the perfect high school experience? When you graduate, what do you want your transcript to show? What do you want people to say about you? What courses did you want to take? What activities did you want to do? I'm asking you to take time this week and write down the definition of a great first month in high school, a great first semester, a great first year, and a great high school experience. What is the definition of success? Once you have that figured out, then we can start making plans of how to get there. But you need to make that investment. Maybe Mr. Williams can scroll up to the bottom of my sheet here. So we've got paradigm of values. We've got this idea of making investments in relationships. You have the concept of accepting that you have a ton of power. Right there is good. You have the concept of defining what success is. And then we go to my end point here, which is how are we going to get to that point of success? And you can see the little grid on the right side of the screen here. There's 4 quadrants. The idea that there are things that are urgent and important in that upper quadrant. If I'm having a heart attack right now, or if my wife's going to leave me, or if I get a flat tire on the freeway, that's urgent and important. And a lot of the things that are in that, you know, sometimes in academics, like I have 3 tests tomorrow, or you know, I want to go to the homecoming dance, but I haven't invited someone. You're stressed out. Well, many of these things that are urgent and important are preventable. If I get my car serviced more often, if I treat my wife better, if I eat well and exercise, if I study ahead of time, if I ask someone to dance ahead of time. You don't want to live in quadrant 1, and that's that crisis quadrant if you can avoid it. So I'm going to recommend quadrant 2. That means it's not urgent, but it's important. So if my wedding anniversary is 2 months away, I need to be planning for that. If I have tests in 2 weeks or in a week, I should be studying. And that's what we're talking about here. It's not urgent, but it's important. And we want you to be living in that quadrant. And avoid quadrants 3 and 4. Those are your quicksand if you're growing up. That's your, hey, I spent 18 hours this weekend playing Call of Duty. So if I can get Mr. Williams to go to my final quote here, I'll recap. We want you to have a paradigm of values. We want you to make investments all the way down. We want you to make it all the way down. There you go.
Here?
That's perfect. So, yeah, that's it. We want you to have a paradigm of values. We want you to make investments in relationships. We want you to accept that you're driving the bus. You have a ton of power and it's time to stop blaming other people. We want you to define success. Does that mean, you know, at the end of this month, end of this year, and then we want you to try and get that. And that means calendaring your events. So you hopefully got one of these when you registered. And if you look on your monthly calendars, there's a column to the side where I would suggest you put your roles and goals. And the roles and goals means, gee, as a big brother, as a daughter, as a member of the band, what do I need to do to be the most valuable person there? Mr. Williams, I lost our quote there. Mr. Williams? Mr. Williams, can you put my quote back?
You bet.
So I'm going to end with a quote by Mark Twain, one of my favorite dudes. And in the quote, he basically talks about regret for things we don't do. So I'm going to read it with you. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. In other words, he's saying, take those chances, right? Be brave, not perfect. So throw off the bowlines, that's the knot holding the boat to the pier. Sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, and discover. So if you ever need anything, you can email Mr. Klipfeld. You can come see me in the P building. Whether you forget your lunch, whether you need money for the bus, whether you need someone to talk to, whether you need someone to go advocate for you in the office. Remember, Mr. Klipfeld, I'm there for you. Good luck, class of 2024.
Okay, Vince?
All right, guys. Well, couple apologies. Thank you, Mr. Clipfeld. Mr. Clipfeld is a great person to get to know on this campus, a phenomenal man. He's here to serve you, and he will definitely, if you need anything, he's just a great guy to know. A little distracted because I guess we had two different feeds up. One was our practice feed from earlier, so I apologize if anybody's joining late. My understanding is we are recording this, so we can send it out later. So hopefully people that were on the wrong stream are now here on the correct stream. So at this point, what I would like to do is invite, I believe it was next on our agenda, Mr. Garrett, do you have your agenda in front of you? Can you invite our next speakers into that?
I don't have the written agenda in front of me, boss.
Okay, I thought you had, that's fine. I have it right here. At this point, I'm going to invite in Mrs. Winkler, who's going to talk about common sense tutors at this time. I believe that Mrs. Winkler has a screen to share as well.
No, she doesn't.
Hi guys, my name is Miss Winkler. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. I am a 9th grade biology teacher, so I should be seeing some of your lovely faces in just a few days via Zoom or Google Meet. I also teach forensic science, but I would like to introduce my president for Common Sense. I'm the advisor, by the way. Bella Ang is here, and she's going to kind of walk us through some really cool information about the club. So if Mr. Williams would present that slideshow for us. Bella, you want to say hi in the meantime?
Hi guys, my name is Bella. I'm a 2021 senior and I am the president of Common Sense this year.
Okay, so Mr. Williams is going to be in the process right now of sharing his screen, Mrs. Winkler, so you can show your slides. That's what you need, correct?
He's in the process of putting them up for us, right? Or do I need to?
You need
I
to.
think you need to, Mrs. Winkler.
Okay, then I will do that right this second. Give me 1 minute. I cannot screen share.
Not screen. She cannot screen. Well, at this time, until we get the screen share, and Ms. Winkler, can you give an overview to the students of what Common Sense does and its purpose on campus?
Yeah, so Common Sense is a club that is intended to help support freshmen as they transition into their high school careers. And they really kind of act as like big brothers, big sisters in providing different academic supports, different wellness, mental wellness supports, and some social things. And Bella, I don't know if you want to kind of elaborate on the different events that we've hosted in the past.
Yeah, so we host a lot of academic things, like at the end of every semester. For winter, we do Cocoa and Cram, which is where we help freshmen prepare for their first set of finals, which can seem really scary, but we act as tutors and we can help guide you through study guides your teachers might give you. And in the spring, we do Lemonade and Cram, which is the same thing, but for spring finals. And we also do wellness panels like we did this past year to help focus on mental health. And we do luncheons, which we serve pizza and we play games. So we can also focus on building bonds and friendships with different classes.
Okay, Ashley, you are now a host and you can now share your screen. Do you see that?
Woohoo! Okay, let's see. I should probably start at the beginning then. Can everyone see this?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so we already kind of walked you through a little bit about this, but again, goal is just to, support all of the incoming freshmen. And if things were, normal circumstances, we would be walking you around campus, we would be meeting you in person, and we would be going to these different sessions to actually see one another in person. And then these are some of the things that Bella was just walking you through that Common Sense hosts every single year. the academic wellness Q&A panels, the mental wellness Q&A panels. I mean, as lovely as it is to hear from staff and the adults, it's even more exciting and I think more engaging to be able to interact with other students who have already lived freshman year and can speak to their experiences. Bella, you want to interject here?
Sure. So when you talk to a teacher, it can maybe seem a little intimidating because a lot of times when you're a freshman, you haven't had to talk to a teacher before. But when you're talking to another student, it can seem easier to communicate problems you might have. And a lot of us are more than willing to give up lunches or extra time if you need anything at all in any classes, since a lot of us have already taken them, so we can help you along the way.
And we're really hoping that you guys will enjoy the interaction with Common Sense throughout the course of the year as we transition at some point from distance learning to hybrid learning to being back on campus. And you'll really utilize your Common Sense mentors that we can put you in touch with. I'm worried that I don't have the option to play video for you. I'll attempt. This is our promo in case you guys are ever interested in joining Common Sense. So hopefully we will see some of you guys applying to be Common Sense mentors as well at the end of this school year based on your really positive experience. These are photos from our freshman immersion last year where everyone was gathered out on the quad, which at some point we will be able to do again, and we will get awesome pictures to put up and update for class of 2024 as well. And these are some of our luncheons that we've hosted. Q&A panels are up here as well. There we go. There's some of the academic Q&A panels. So for those of you that are watching, we're really hoping that you will scan this QR code on here and that you will provide us some feedback for today's immersion and orientation. And that way we can also put you in touch with some Common Sense mentors. Oh, I'll go back for just a second. Bella, is there anything else you want to add about Common Sense?
Not much, but we do have an Instagram and I believe it's just @CommonSense. But if you go to the next slide, you can email me and I can send you the direct link to it. And you can feel free to message that account at any time or message any of the Common Sense mentors with any questions you might have regarding the virtual school year and eventually the immersion school year. And we are always here to help you and never feel afraid to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, Mrs. Winkler and Bella, what are some things you'll be doing during the virtual time that students are away? What are some things Common Sense will be doing to reach out?
Way to put us on the spot, Mr.
Hey,
Ferry.
there you go.
I think at the end of last year when we went on distance learning, and Bella can speak to this as well, we did some individualized outreach. We split up the entire freshman class amongst our 30 or so Common Sense mentors. And every single week they sent out check-in emails, they sent quizzes. Am I glitching? They sent quizzes to kind of check in with the freshmen. They made videos to interact with the freshmen. And we always had like a little bit of an agenda so that there was some structure to it. But I will tell you that Bella made some of my favorite videos. Very engaging and super funny. So Bella, what else should we be doing this year?
I would be totally more than happy to have like Zoom meetings with kids. If they are looking for a tutor in any subject, a lot of us are AP kids and we would be more than happy to help them through all of their classes. It can seem really overwhelming with the new cohorts. And like, even though we've never done it before ourselves, like I'm sure, and Katie can attest to this too, because she's another student here, but we're happy to help with academics and just to create friendships as well. I've gotten messages across Instagram platforms, and you guys seem like an amazing group of kids, and the class of 24 seems really awesome.
I would suggest be on the lookout and check your student emails regularly so that when Common Sense mentors do start emailing you to do some virtual interactive activities, that you guys see those on a regular basis and can participate so that you have some familiar faces when you do get to come back to campus.
Well, thank you both very much. Appreciate it, Bella. Appreciate you being here. Bella, you did do a great job last year of the videos and connecting with students. And Common Sense Mentors is a great program, one of our best programs on this campus. So class of 2024, someday you'll be Common Sense Mentors, and hopefully you'll take advantage of all the services this great club provides on our campus. I think I'm going to jump around the agenda here right now just because I think Bella talked about different cohorts staying organized. I think this would be a great time for Mrs. Stewart to kind of come in and talk about the student planner and why we make it mandatory at Saugus High School.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Good. Okay, hi, I'm Mrs. Stewart. I'm an English teacher here at Saugus High School, and I just wanted to take a minute to talk to you about the importance of using your student planner. It really is one of the most valuable resources available to you, especially in this weird time of distance learning. There are a couple specific things I'm going to point to. And right here in the beginning, there is an area for you to reflect on what you really want to get out of high school and what motivates you to do those things. And I think it kind of piggybacks on what Mr. Klipfel talked to you about earlier, setting goals for yourself. And there's some other cool things like that in the beginning part of the planner. The next thing, there is a list on page 9 of the planner, tips to use your time effectively. And the first #1 tip on that page is to keep your planner up to date. And so as we move through high school, it's obviously a little bit the same as junior high where you have different teachers, but the expectations and the responsibility put on students is a little bit different as we're preparing you for what's going to come next in your life after high school when you probably don't live with your parents anymore. And so the planner allows you an opportunity to start getting organized and setting goals for yourself, and then making sure you reach those goals and commit to the things you say you're going to commit to. So in the planner, the #1 thing you need to do is always write down your assignments. Not just what are the assignments, but when are they due? And my advice to you is when you write these things down or look at them, it may feel a little bit overwhelming. I have all of this to do for Spanish. I have all of this to do for math. So one thing that can really help you is making sure that you cross those things off as you go. It's amazing how much of this sense of accomplishment that you will feel when you know, like, wow, I still have 5 things to do, but I've already completed 5 other ones. And checking it regularly. Lots of times students look at the planner, they write down the assignments because the teacher says that they have to, and then they never go back to it. So you need to take a few minutes after school, when you finish your classes, to look at the planner and say, okay, what do I have to accomplish today, and when today can I accomplish it? Sometimes I encourage my students to take a minute and write down a time. Like, I know I'm not going to get to this till 8 o'clock tonight. And this is going to be especially important because you're not going to be attending all of your classes every day. So when Monday is over and you've gone to 3 of your classes, it's okay, when today, or possibly tomorrow if my schedule is busy, can I accomplish these things and set aside time? The other thing, in addition to writing your school assignments down and feeling that you've accomplished those, it's important to set aside time for yourself. And Mr. Klipfel touched on this earlier too. And there is some space in the planner for Saturday and Sunday. Not because we're saying your teachers are always going to assign you homework over the weekend, but because it's important for you to think about when on the weekend am I going to make time to do something that I really want to do. because part of your success in high school isn't just about writing down your assignments and completing them on time, but it's also about taking care of yourself. When you make time for yourself, doing those things that you have to do for school is going to seem just a little bit easier. So when your teacher asks you to write in your planner, look at your planner every day and cross things off as you go. It will just help you feel a little bit better, a little more accomplished. So that's my advice to you. Good luck in your first year of high school and use that planner.
Thank you, Mrs. Stewart. Just so the class of 2024 knows, every year we survey our freshman class and we ask them what's going well, what's not going well, and why they think if something isn't going, why that is. And every year without fail, the number one answer is I'm not keeping organized. So we make planners mandatory for all your classes, even during virtual learning. So your teachers will probably make you physically show your planner. They're gonna make you probably physically show that you wrote the assignment down in your planner. So make sure when you start class on Tuesday, you have those planners with you with your textbooks, because keeping you organized is just a great life skill that you're going to have. So please use those. At this time, I am going to introduce one of the most popular people on this campus, one of my all-time favorites, Miss Katie Tenate, who's going to be talking about ASB and all the great activities they do and how you can get involved. Miss Katie, how you doing?
I am good. That was an elaborate introduction, but thank you.
I'm smooth. Take it away, Katie.
Okay, so hi, I'm Katie Tenate. I am a senior at Saugus. I am the representative here today for ASB. So I'm just going to talk about some of like the clubs and different events that we normally would have on campus and what we're going to be doing now virtually. So normally about a month from now, we'd be having like our homecoming carnival and rally, which obviously we're not quite sure what will happen with that this year, but hopefully in your coming years of high school, you'll be able to attend those, which I highly recommend. They are some of the highlights of my high school career. I absolutely love them, the rallies, dances, everything. They are so much fun. But for currently, since we obviously cannot do those in-person activities, we are going to be trying to bring some more spirit to our campus and our students through like online things, through our social media and stuff like that, which I highly would recommend you guys go and follow our social medias. Our Instagram and Twitter for our school-wide accounts is at @saugus_sense. And then your individual class account is at saugus.2024. So I would recommend following those because that's where you're going to get a lot of updates and a ton of different ways to stay involved and really be connected to your class and to the entire school. We're going to try to do some like spirit activities that we normally would do as like brunch times in person, which I believe at Seika you guys called them noon times. So it's a similar concept, just over at Saugus we have brunch. And so we're going to try to do those kind of things, get you guys some of those spirit points that we normally would do in person with just some online and virtual activities. And as far as it goes for clubs, we still have our wide variety of clubs. We still have our National Honor Society and our Academic Decathlon, those are more like academic type clubs. And those are really great for you to join. We have some interest clubs and things like that. Like in the past, we've had Star Wars clubs. And then we have some more like honor and like service-based clubs, like our Bring Change to Mind, which is based around mental health. And those type of clubs, it obviously varies based on their own advisors and what they are doing specifically. But a lot of them are meeting on Zooms and still doing stuff. So you can definitely get involved. And that, again, I highly recommend. Just being involved and being a part of the campus life really will help make your whole experience a lot better. And especially right now, as we are doing virtual instead of in person, it is a great way to still connect and get to know people and just kind of have a whole bond with your entire class, the entire school. So I would recommend going out, following our social medias, stay up to date. Hopefully I will see you all on some spirit activities and in some club meetings. I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, Katie, great job presenting. Echoing what Katie said, being involved in high school is of paramount importance. If you are connected to school beyond just your classroom, all the studies show that you're going to do well socially, emotionally, academically. So, and our ASB is fantastic. They have so many clubs to offer, so many neat activities to get involved with. And if you ever have an idea for a club, speak with Katie, talk to Katie. She'll help you get it set up. But please get involved. Katie, thank you so much for being here today and representing ASB. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
At this time, I'm going to introduce my friends to talk about wellness at Saugus High School. We have Mr. Roundsville, Ms. Holt, and Deputy Koch. Mr. Roundsville, why don't we start with you and just talk about wellness in general and what we can do to maintain good health and just supports and services in place for students.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Ferry. Good afternoon, class of 2024. My name is Mr. Roundsville, or you can call me Mr. R. That's a little easier to remember and a little easier to say. I am the school social worker here at Saugus, and my role is just to help. So as you may have difficulties maintaining wellness, whether that's just being in a good space, or if you're struggling or having some hard times, you can certainly reach out to any trusted adult on campus. We have great staff and administrators there. So your teachers, your counselors, but also worst case scenario, you come to your social worker, and I'm here to help you. As we talked about, as Mr. Ferry introduced and mentioned wellness, one of the things I wanted to help people understand is wellness is a complete. It's about mind, body, and soul. So sometimes we think if we have a cold or if we're sick, then we're not well. But if we aren't necessarily in the best of moods or in the best of space in our spirits and in our minds, we aren't well. And if we feel good and if we feel great, we are well, right? And so we want to make sure that that you know that we have a space for you and we have people here to support you. We have amazing Ms. Holt, who's our new wellness coordinator on campus, and she's going to talk in a little bit and explain more about our Serenity space, which is our wellness center. She'll tell you about that. Just know that as a support for you, I, your school social worker, am here, and so whenever you are struggling in mind, body, and spirit, that's the time you want to consider your school social worker. And here is my information. So again, there are the bullet points that reference if you need someone to talk to, if you just aren't feeling well. Even if you aren't sure if you're feeling well, come see me, come talk to me. I hope you figure that out. And virtually, if you scroll down a little bit, Mr. Wade, I have a QR code. You can email me. There's my email address, or you can scan that QR code that will give you an appointment form, and you can schedule an appointment with me. If you need an immediate response, just reach out to me. I think I'm pretty easy to talk to. And also I have there'll be a social work intern, Ms. Poff, that will be supporting me as well. So maybe you might feel a little more comfortable talking to a female. Well, I have a female intern that can also support you as well. Again, as a reminder, my job, I just want to help. So if you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. Ms. Holt.
Hi, I'm Miss Holt, and I'm so excited to be taking over as the site coordinator for the Wellness Center, or the Saugus Serenity Space. And I definitely want to say you should utilize Ira or Mr. Ronesville, because I do all the time, constantly bug them all the time. Okay, so I'm taking over for the Serenity Space. It's in the NPR, which is right next to the choir room. And so I'm always there. It'll be easy for you to access when you return to school. And it's really, really nice and cute with a fireplace. It's not real fire, but it is really warm. And a little water fountain and games and puzzles and bean bags. And it's really a really calming place for you to go if you need to talk to somebody. In the past, you do have to do some steps to get to the wellness center or the Serenity space. And I know that was kind of hard and challenging for students in the past. So I'm trying to work out a new way that we can get you to the wellness center. It is challenging because not everyone can be in there at once, but so that it's a little bit easier for you to access if you are having some anxiety during class or need to talk to somebody right away. So yeah, that's kind of the Serenity space. You can welcome to talk to me if you want to know more about it. I did create an Instagram for it. So this is my email address if you need it. And then that is the Instagram for the Serenity space. And then what goes along with that is the Bring Change to Mind Club, which Katie mentioned. She's part of that club. The Bring Change to Mind Club is the goal. It's a national club, is to kind of erase the stigma around mental health, like specifically mental health illness or just anyone struggling with their mental health, which at some point everybody goes through that. So that's what the club is about, erasing that stigma, but also bringing positivity to campus and creating positive change. So we got a lot of new ideas for this year. I spoke with the president just a few days ago. I'm really excited about the club. We're thinking about having some like community campus forums on Zoom and things like that, which reminds me, virtually there's like the wellness center is for when you return to campus, but there is a website, which I did not know about, from the Heart District that Ira shared with me, Mr. Roundsville, sorry, that has a million resources and fun games and tips, and it's just really great, and it was really hard for me to access, so I just put it in the Instagram bio for the Saugus Serenity Space Instagram. So if you have Instagram, you can access it there. And then I'm going to move this up because that is the, is it backwards? It totally is. Okay. No, it's not. Okay, good. That's the Bring Change to Mind Club. I don't run that Instagram. The presidents do. But go ahead and message that Instagram or mine or the Serenity Space Instagram or email me if you want to join the club, because our first meeting is going to be Monday at noon. And I think the Zoom link is also on the Bring Change to Mind Club's Instagram. But if you don't have Instagram, again, email me. Again, like Mr. Runsville said, I think I'm pretty easy to talk to. Sometimes my students call me like the school avatar, because the avatar is like the bridge between two worlds. And I like to think of myself as the bridge between the student world and the teacher world sometimes. I'm pretty young, but I do know what I'm doing. If you need an adult to talk to, if you feel comfortable, I would love to talk to you. My room is always open. I mean, not now because COVID, but it's always open when you're on campus for you to come eat lunch. There are always students in my room. And then at the very bottom, there's also a Saugus choir Instagram. I'm just gonna plug it really quick. Even if you don't think you can sing, but you like music, you can do the Saugus choir Instagram. It's a really fun program. Okay, that's all. All right, I'm gonna pass it to Deputy Coates. So thank you.
Am I on?
You're on, Deputy Koch. It's you, my man.
What's going on, freshman class? I'm Deputy Koch. I'm your school resource deputy for your freshman year and hopefully for the next 4 years. I am currently out and about in my patrol car, but I am parked, so do not Zoom and drive. When I am not out and about, when school is going to eventually resume, I'm always at Saugus High. I have an office there. It's an open door if you guys ever want to come in, talk, ask questions about anything and everything. I know we're going through a really rough time in society right now, and a lot of good things are happening, like your principal said, but I'm always here for anything. I'm obviously here to uphold the law. So just a couple of reminders as a freshman class, we're a family here. So just a couple reminders. I don't like bullying. I don't like fighting. I don't like cyber bullying. All that is nasty. And there's no place for that right now where we live in any time, really. So just a reminder as the freshman class, I'm not saying any of the other classes aren't like this, but be a family, encourage one another, be there for each other. Also, if you have any questions or you have something that you feel uncomfortable about, or you're worried about a friend or yourself or anything at all, you can get in contact with me. I'm always available, whether I'm there or not. One of your APs can help you, a counselor can help you get in contact with me, but I'm basically there for whatever need you might need. My name is Deputy Koch, and I'll be there. Nice talking to you guys.
Thank you, Deputy Koch. Yeah, we got a lot of supports in place for you guys, starting with Mr. Roundsville, just a great guy to talk to, easy to talk to. Mrs. Holt, who not only is a phenomenal award-winning choral director, show choir director, you name it, she can do it. We're just excited about her position as wellness coordinator. And Deputy Koch is just an all-star resource deputy for our school, and has already in 1 year just made such great relationships with our student body. So we're excited, and I appreciate all three of you being on this call today, our Zoom conference for the class of 2024. At this time, I know an important topic for a lot of you who are viewing today is athletics. So I have Assistant Principal Mr. Garrett, I have Athletic Directors Mr. Lapata and Mr. Marcia present to talk some athletics with you guys and kind of give you a little bit of forecast of what the year is going to look like.
Hey again, Centurions, it's me, Mr. Garrett. So we're going to be as quick as we can and tell you a few things about athletics this year at Saugus. First of all of our sports are going to be going anywhere from December to June this year. We are hopeful that at some point we'll have permission to be on campus doing practices and having you guys, face to face with your coaches. But right now we can't do that. And that's just how it is. One thing that this new schedule of sports is going to do for us is allow a lot of you to play multiple sports. Like those of you who have two sports, you might be having to share time simultaneously between your two sports. And we're going to do everything we can to make that possible for you, okay? We want you to have a great experience and pursue any athletics you want to do while you're here at Saugus. With that being said, I would encourage you at some point to go onto the school website and look under our sports teams. And if you're interested in a sport, contact the coach and get information from them about what you might be able to do. And while you're in a PE class and not in a sport, if that's the case for you, keep working out hard. Our PE teachers, Mr. Marcia is one of our PE teachers. They're going to be setting up workouts for all the PE students to do. And you guys got to just keep working hard and do everything you can. Gentlemen, you want to add anything?
No, but you should add that if they are on a sports roster, they will be contacted by their coach and they will
All
be
right.
doing
So if you guys earlier put your name on interest lists, your coaches at some point will be contacting you to let you know about who they've added to their rosters and who has yet to have tryouts conducted. Many of our sports need to do tryouts, but we can't do those tryouts until we are allowed to be here on campus face to face. All right. Thanks, Mr. Ferry. Hey, we're looking forward to seeing all you ninth grade Centurions as soon as possible.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here. Athletics is a proud tradition at Saugus High School. The most important thing that we ask our athletes to do is to be student athletes, take care of business in the classroom. We ask you to compete with character and integrity. And obviously, you always want to win. That's the goal for any team playing. But we want to make sure that your experience at Saugus High School is preparing you just to be a better person. 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you're developing skill sets to just make you a valuable contributor to society. So that's really the mission of our athletics department. And we love getting the wins along the way. But the most important win is 10 years down the road, seeing what great young men and women we put out into the world through our different sports programs from Saugus High School. So again, we got great coaches, great ADs, great assistant principal of athletics, and please try out for more than one sport because we like multi-sport athletes. At this point, I'm going to introduce in your freshman counselors, Mrs. Rose, Mrs. Monteleone, and Mr. Fricky. They want to introduce themselves, and I'll let you guys take it away.
All right, good afternoon, class of 2024 and Saugus Centurions. This is the counseling department. I'm going to go around the room and we're each going to introduce ourselves. First with?
I'm Grace Berry, and I will be helping out in the counseling office.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Miss Rose, and I have last names A through G. Looking forward to meeting you guys. Hi, I'm Miss Monteleone. You can call me Miss Monty because Monteleone is just too hard to say. I have ninth graders with the last names H through N.
And I am Mr. Fricky, and if your last name starts with the letters O through Z, I will be your counselor. So we're going to share some news with you from the counseling office. First of all, yesterday was registration, and you all should have picked up your schedules. Make sure you look at your schedules. All freshmen should have English, biology, a math class on there. Everybody should be in PE, or if you're in a sport or marching band, that counts for PE credits. You get 2 electives. Now, sometimes students ask, what if I want to change my elective? What if I want to change what's on there? If you haven't had a chance to make a necessary change, you can email the counselors. We have an automated response that will come back to you with the QR code on the email. All you need to do is take a picture of the QR code with your phone, and then it'll take you to the link or course request form. Fill that out, and the counselors will get back to you if we're able to make the requested change. Now, some of you might still be interested in playing sports. You heard our athletic people talk about sports. There are many sports programs that'll still take freshmen into the conditioning classes, even if they haven't had tryouts first. And they include football, boys and girls track, boys and girls cross country, boys and girls lacrosse, boys and girls soccer, boys volleyball, aquatic fitness, and ROTC. So if you're interested in doing any of those sports, but don't have them on the schedule, and you just have regular PE on the schedule, go to that course request form, request to be placed into that conditioning class, and we could do it for you. That could help get you involved in the program. And the conditioning class is a great way to prepare to join an athletic team while in high school. Another option that you might have heard of before is our extended day career pathways. We have classes outside the regular school day. Of course, they're all online this fall, but these are classes that prepare you for career pathways in a number of fields that get you credits and get you prepared for entering into this profession in college and after college. And they include careers such as animal science, dental, education, fire science, hospitality, tourism and recreation, medical assisting, networking, cybersecurity, pharmacy, and public service law enforcement. So if you are interested in any of those classes, email your counselor and we can connect you with Mrs. Dahlquist, our college and career specialist, and get you enrolled in one of those courses if you're interested in doing so. Also, people might ask, with the extended day offerings, do they count for credits and grades? Yes, they do. And it's a great way to get ahead on your high school graduation requirements as well. So for the schedule, it looks a little different this year. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Rose, who will explain how the schedule works for our classes.
Okay, so when you got your schedule, it should have looked something like this. So what you can see on this side right here, it says Monday and Thursday, and I see 3 classes listed. I see periods 2, 3, and 4, which is absolutely correct. From this schedule, it looks like, if you're reading it, that those classes are in the morning, and they are. All of these classes will end by 12:40. When you look in the middle, you can see all of this person's classes, all 6. It goes the entire length of the schedule, but what I want to point out is all 6 will happen in shorter periods on a Wednesday and will actually all happen in the same time frame as the Monday, Tuesday, and the Thursday, Friday. It's going to end by 12:40. When you look at Tuesday and Friday, some freshmen were saying it looks like they had afternoon classes, but actually the periods 5, 6, and 7 will again all happen in the morning and end by 12:40. So this is a little embarrassing because I was an art major in college for a short amount of time. So please don't hold this against me. I can do a stick figure now and that's about it. But what I want to show you is period 1 meets every day. So kids who have band, dance, and choir are meeting period 1 in that 7:05 to 8 o'clock time frame. Okay? And you'll see period 8, which you would have if you're in sports. Sports is meeting every day in that same time frame. You see lunch is the same time every day. Okay? And then let's go back up to the top. Just a better picture of how your classes are breaking down. You'll see the yellow is my second period. So I have my second period on Mondays and Thursdays. So Mondays and Thursdays should look the same. Periods 2, 3, and 4. And again, notice that your academic classes are ending by lunch. Taking a look at your other block, so to speak, on Tuesdays and Fridays, you've got periods 5, 6, and 7. And again, all of those academic classes are ending by 12:40. If you kind of look at my drawing, you'll see that periods 3 and 6, those boxes look a little bit bigger. That was actually by design because there's time for advisory in there. Okay. So we hope that helps to clarify a little bit about your schedule. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us. We're here to help.
Right now, the best way to contact us will be through email. There will be more information coming out to you guys shortly. We'll get different links to the teachers and how to best contact us after school starts. But right now, the best way to contact us is through emails.
And also, if you can't find the emails, they are on the Saugus High School page. If you go to staff directory, all the teachers and all the counselors are on there. And we just want you to reach out to us for any academic, social, personal support you might need. We are here to help. We really enjoy working with students. That's our passion. And we know it's going to look a little different this year with distance learning, but we are here for you to help support you. And we hope to get to know all of you very well through distance learning and really look forward to the day where you can see all of you in person here on campus.
And I know some of the staff has already touched upon this, but remember to keep an eye out on your social media. If there's any important information that the counseling office may have, it may come through Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. So just keep an eye out on social media.
Okay, so now we'll turn it back over to our MC, Mr. Ferry.
Thank you. It's our wonderful, half of our wonderful counseling department, but very excited. Our counselors will be doing some outreach Zoom/YouTube presentations with you guys. I promise we'll get rid of some of these glitches we experienced today, but as Mr. Klipfeld said, be brave, not perfect. So today we were brave, trying our first live YouTube with you guys, and we definitely weren't perfect, but we're surviving, and hopefully there's some good information you're getting. So just a couple things before we head out. Remember, if you could, please check your Heart District email account. Log into it, make sure you remember your password. A lot of the information you'll be getting from your teachers is going to go directly to that Heart District email account. In those emails, you will be receiving Google Classroom codes that you will need in order to access the Google Classroom. You will also want to go into IC Messenger and make sure that you're checking that, because a lot of teachers will be using IC Messenger as well to send out codes. For the first week back is a Tuesday, and that's a special schedule. Whenever we have a 4-day week, it's a special schedule. So for Tuesday, your first class will be at 8:30 a.m. and that will be your period 2 class, followed by period 3, followed by period 4. There is a calendar I sent out to your parents a couple of weeks ago, and I apologize to any parents out there watching because I sent out so much information because things are changing minute by minute. But one of those emails was a link to the district calendar for the first 5 weeks of school that spells out each day what period is meeting and what time. So that is also available on the Heart District website as well as the Saugus High School website. And finally, if you were not able to go through summer check-in, our makeup summer check-in is this Monday, August 10th, and that is for freshmen at 8:00 a.m. So if you didn't go through check-in, please do so at that time so you can get your textbooks, get your schedule, and you're ready to go the first day of school. Remember, be engaged the first day, be a positive leader on campus, expand your social group, develop those relational skills, and we're going to have a great start to the school year. The class of 2024, we're excited. You guys are going to be Centurions. Mr. Williams, are we ready for that video, or is it still?
I am going to try to get it up there, yes. So I'm going to share my screen.
We are going to share a welcome video. After that welcome video, this presentation will be over. But like we say to all students at Saugus High School, we miss you. And most importantly, we love you guys. We want you safe. We want you healthy. We want you involved. And if you need anything, please reach out to us. And we are so excited you guys are Saugus Centurions. So at this point, Mr. Williams will be showing a short welcome video created by SNN.
Now? Is it? Are you getting?
Again, be brave, not perfect, guys. Listen, I'm going to send out this link. It was recorded. We'll have that welcome video sent out to you. You don't need to spend your afternoon for us trying to figure it out. But again, welcome class of 2024. We're excited you're all Centurions, and all the best.